You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you may on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm feeling so much better than I did the past couple days. I actually got some decent sleep in. It's still not what I usually get, but it's better than not getting any sleep at all, and I feel quite a bit refreshed today, ready to come back at you with some more content. For those of you who are worried about me, I'm okay. Just every now and then something will happen that will, like, impact my sleep schedule, and it'll just, like, reset. It's really stupid, and it's really annoying, and I hate it. But what can you do? It's the human body, after all. Sometimes it doesn't work the way we want it to. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alright. And supposedly Kyrx wants to talk to Diego now, too. That only makes things more complicated. I heard. What do you think he should do? I don't know. Diego hates Kyrx, like, really hates him. And it seemed as though Kyrx felt the same way. That is until he started talking to Ty again. You think he's, like, softened up or something? I don't know. He's been okay with me. I keep thinking maybe he's not so bad, but then I remember all the stuff Diego said about him. Here we are, gentlemen. 2 ciders. Your meal shouldn't be too far off. Hey, what's with the sullen faces? A complicated conversation topic. Need some outside counsel? Don't you have work to do? Do you see any other customers? I guess not. Alright, another opinion might be helpful. Jay sat down with us at the table, and I took the time to get him up to speed. I see. That is something of a pickle. You can totally say that again, dude. What do you think, handsome sharky man? Honestly, I think Diego has the right idea. It's in the past, right? It's better to just forget about it and move on. Especially considering how, like, crazy complicated the whole thing is. And if Kyrx is as volatile as Diego seems to think. But Brian did say he didn't seem that way recently, and relationships are crazy. I know from experience. Oh? I had something of a bad relationship myself a while back. Bad vibes all around. I came out of it angry, hating the guy I was with. He has issues. He had his issues. I had mine, and between us, we just couldn't overcome them. It was like we were in constant competition with each other. And not the healthy kind, either. He was putting me down. I was putting him down, and we were both completely miserable. We held on for too long, and it ended poorly. It's like I said, I hated his guts at first. But in time, I realized these things aren't so black and white. He felt the same way I did all along. There was no bad guy, just 2 people with incompatibilities and flaws. We couldn't see eye to eye, and we couldn't make it work. Maybe I'm biased from my own experience. I don't know Diego well enough to say anything for sure, and I don't know Kyrx at all. But maybe it's the same for them. Diego said Kyrx is abusive, though, right? Being in a bad relationship can feel like being abused. The thing is, both parties can feel the same way. And it's like you said, your boss knows more than you guys do. More than Diego even does. And he seems to think it's a two-way street. Diego isn't abusive, though. He's got his problems, sure, but he's a good guy. So was my ex. But sometimes relationship incompatibilities can bring out the worst in us. Make us into people we're not. What I'm saying is, what if Kyrx was a good person, too? What if they just weren't meant to be, weren't right for one another? What about the thing that Brian mentioned at the festival? It was really horrible there. How long had they been broken up then? A few weeks? That's right. Wouldn't you be mad? There's mad, then there's that. The way he behaved was really ugly. A reflection of their relationship, perhaps. Anyway, none of us know what really went on. You can't judge a situation after hearing only one side of the story. It could be different from how I think it is, but I think they should talk. That's my opinion. You don't think Diego should just forget it and move on? I still think that's the best move. Why drag it out? Without a closure, those wounds turn into scars. Perhaps with some mutual understanding, they'll both be better equipped to move on. I don't know. Diego seems to be doing fine without it. I think he should. Like, just carry on, dude. You have a point, Jay, but so do you, Russell. And Diego seems to agree that he should just move on. All things considered, he's doing okay and healing well. Oh, we were interrupted by a bell ringing from the direction of the kitchen. Oh, Lord. Oh, your food is ready. I'll go fetch it. You really think he shouldn't talk to Kyrx, Russell? I don't know, dude. If he's, like, doing okay without, then why bother? Have you ever been in a bad relationship? How would you feel about closure? Nah, only, like, the best vibes over here, my dude. And, like, I guess you could say I'm not so much, like, the dating type. Russell be liking playing all them bases. Oh? Yep. If the right, like, thing or whatever came along, I wouldn't turn it, like, away or anything. It's just that I ain't, like, looking for anything, you know? I'm, like, happy as things are, my dude, so why change it? Makes perfect sense to me. Different strokes for different folks and all that. Totally. So, like, what about you? You been in any, like, bad relationships or whatever? Nope, I don't have any experience with that sort of thing either. I guess with Jay's experience, he's qualified to have an opinion on the topic. If you ask me, why dig up the past if Diego is okay? I just don't see the point. He says he is. I know it still affects him, though. I wonder if he's hurting more than he's letting on. Gentlemen, your meals. Jay placed our plates in front of us and sat back down, rejoining the conversation. Damn, that's a big sandwich. Maybe you should have a talk with Diego about it, Brian. Get him to be honest about his feelings. I don't think he's been dishonest. People have a habit of pushing things that hurt us to the side, distracting ourselves, not processing them or dealing with them, and just trying to ignore them. If Diego really is doing well, then perhaps there is no harm in continuing as is. But if he isn't, this is an opportunity he should take advantage of. So you agree then? I should talk to Diego, try to figure out just how much this still affects him? Sounds good to me, dude. I concur. I don't want to push any decision on him, but if the conversation is a success, hopefully he'll make the right decision on his own. I know he says he doesn't want to, I just want to make sure that he doesn't need to. You're aiming to facilitate conversation and stimulate emotion in order to encourage him to consider all angles. It's good that you're not pressuring him, dude. Just trying to make sure he's thought about everything. That's the idea. It's not my choice to make, nor is it Ty's. It's Diego's. Just so long as he makes the right choice for his sake. Sounds like you've got a plan, my dude. Indeed. Keep me in the loop. I'd love to hear how it goes. Thanks for the advice, guys. I know what I need to do now. I appreciate it. Glad I could be of assistance. Although we're due to close soon, and these tables won't wipe themselves. I apologize for taking off so suddenly. No problem. Sorry to distract you during working hours. It's my fault entirely, good sir. You need not apologize, and with that, I bid you adieu. Huh, and just like that, he switches the charm back on. What an interesting dude. Reminds me of Ty in a way. I reckon they'd get on. Well, most likely, dude. Anyway, Jay said they're closing soon. Should we finish up and head off? So let me finish my omelet, we'll be off. Thanks to Russell and Jay, I now knew what I had to do. So long as Diego considered all angles and made his own decision, I'd be happy. Russell and I finished up and departed, waving goodbye to Jay, who returned our wave with his signature wink. There was daylight left if I wanted to hit the town, or I could head straight home and get this conversation over with. Okay, apparently there's nothing to do in town, so off to Diego we go. That should be an interesting conversation. I arrived home to find Diego in his usual position on the couch, playing some video game I didn't recognize. I sat down next to him as he greeted me. Hey, you're back. You're back later than expected. Yeah, Russell and I finished at the same time, so he swung by the cafe. Oh, nice. Jay was there, I take it. Naturally. He sat with us for a bit and chatted. What about? Well, that's just it. I've got news. Oh? Hit me. Well, the reason I was called in was that Kyrx showed up and announced to speak with Ty. Figures. And, well, apparently he's agreed to talk. What? I'm surprised as you, if I'm honest, but yeah, he promised to be civil and all that. Ty says he'll make sure of it. You don't expect me to do this, do you? I don't expect you to do anything, Diego. It's your choice what to do. That being said, Russell and I were talking about it at the cafe, and Jay chimed in with his advice. Jay thinks you should do it. He said he's been in a bad relationship before, too. He believes it's more complicated than good or bad, than Kyrx just being an asshole. Which goes with what Ty was saying about Kyrx having a side of the story he hasn't shared with you. He thinks there's more to this, and at the very least you should hear him out. He said that without closure, your wounds would turn into scars or something like that. He thought you would heal better, assuming the conversation with Kyrx was productive. Russell, on the other hand, agrees with you. He thinks if you're doing fine as is, why bother reopening those wounds? Just carry on as you've been. I'm glad someone agrees with me. At the end of it all, we all came to a similar consensus, though. If it's truly not bothering you, you have nothing to gain from meeting Kyrx. But if it is, and you're just trying to ignore it, you have a lot to gain from it. It might help you truly get past it and be able to move on. So, considering all that, I have a question for you, and I need you to be honest. Alright? Shoot. Are you truly past it? I know it still hurts, but does the prospect of never having your questions answered bother you? Do you have doubts? Do you truly think you can move on and forget everything that has happened as you are now? Jeez, dude, I don't know what to say. It still hurts. Of course it does. It hasn't even been a month. Those sorts of wounds don't heal that quickly, you know? I still wish I knew why he acted like he did, why he became so distant, so hostile. None of it makes any sense, but I grew content in knowing I'd never have an answer. Now it's like, supposedly, I could have an answer, straight from the horse's mouth, no less. It doesn't make any sense. It's not like him. He's not the kind of person to just talk. I don't trust him. I don't believe he has good intentions. Jay said something about his situation, about how relationships bring out the worst in people. They're complicated, messy, and have high stakes. Sorry, y'all. Just imbibing some coffee. You don't think it's possible Kyrx isn't the person you knew? That who he was to you was a product of the situation? Like, I haven't really considered that, if I'm honest. My gut tells me he's exactly that person, but after what I've been through, why wouldn't it? This is also strange. It wasn't long ago that I paid him a visit, either to fix things or to break it off. We know how that worked out, but I was willing to give him that chance. Of course, he didn't take it. So to me, that was severance. That was the definitive end, and I was done. I hoped I wouldn't have to see him again, but Woodcrest is a small place, and we're in a lot of the same circles. We both know how that worked out, too. Just seeing him that night of the festival hurt like hell, not to mention how he acted. Just how he was at the end. I still don't know what I did to deserve it. He didn't deserve it. Nobody does. His behavior was inexcusable. And tomorrow I'm going to be seeing him again anyway. I'm going to be fighting him. I figure that it could be my closure. Just let it all out in the ring, you know? It still affects you. Yeah, it does. And it'll affect me more if he wins. Fuck, man, I don't know what to say. You've got a good point. Remember, this decision is yours to make. If you decide to do it or not to do it, I'm behind you every step of the way. I don't know what the right choice is. Only you do. I just want you to do what is best for you. Jeez. I'm willing to brawl with the guy, albeit begrudgingly, but I'm so against just talking to him. What does that say about me? It says he hurt you. Bruises hurt, but emotional pain hurts for far longer. I don't think any less of you for feeling that way. But here I am, ready to knock the guy's lights out, and really, what will that achieve? Some kind of release? Something with semblance of closure? Could you even call that closure? Maybe I was just justifying it to myself. I don't think that's what I really want, nor do I think it will help. Diego sighed and shook his head before pulling his phone out of his pocket. What are you doing? Hold on. Ty, it's Diego. Yeah, time and place. What? So soon? That makes a lot of sense. Alright, see you then. Diego hung up the call and turned to me. It's done. Tomorrow morning before the fight. So soon? That's what I just said. But yeah, bar's closed for the day, so we won't be bothered by customers. Ty reckons it's best if we can get it done before the fight, too. I wonder how that'll affect both of your performances. Depends on how it goes, I guess. Oh, and there's one other thing. Yeah? I need to tackle this alone. It might get ugly, and I don't want you seeing that. Diego, you know that doesn't bother me. I know, but it's not just that. This is my baggage. I shouldn't have brought it into the relationship in the first place. That wasn't your fault. If anything, it was mine. Come on, you didn't know. Nobody's at fault. This is just something I need to do by myself. I don't know how to explain it better than that. I understand. I'll be a call away if you need me, and if not, I'll be waiting for you when it's all said and done. Thanks. I appreciate it. You're sure this is the right thing to do? Nope, not one bit. But he can't hurt me in a way that he hasn't already. And it's like he said, I have a lot to potentially gain. It's worth a shot. Worst case scenario, we're back where we are now with some fresh wounds. Best case, maybe I can finally put this thing to bed once and for all. I'm proud of you, Diego. Thanks. I haven't done it yet, though. Save your pride for tomorrow night when everything is settled and I've knocked this block off for good measure. Alright, deal. Prepare to be smothered with love and praise when you win. Damn right. Now, I reckon I need something to take my mind off this so I'm not dwelling on it all night. How about we play co-op? Sure. What even is this game? I don't recognize it. Oh boy, you're in for a treat. So it's an RPG, right? So the objective is basically just to progress, but it's really hard and... Is it Dark Souls? I bet he's playing Dark Souls. And thus began an evening of hard-as-nails co-op before the two of us took an early night in preparation for a difficult and long day ahead, or it's Elden Ring. Or it's that new... Forsaken? Something Bleak, something Forsaken, or whatever it's called. If I was honest, I didn't expect Diego to decide the way he did. I couldn't fault the logic. I only hoped if things went badly, he would take it as well as he could. I was a little nervous that he was going without me. I wanted to be there to support him and have his back, but I could see why that wouldn't be appropriate for the situation. I'd have to trust in Ty to keep things civil. Tomorrow was no doubt going to be a very interesting day, for better or for worse. Only time would tell which. Day 19. Ow! Hey, take it easy. Sorry, you're all tangled up. In preparation for Diego's little chat, I had demanded to brush him in an attempt to ensure he'd be looking his best. At first, Diego was reluctant, so I presented the idea to him a little differently. After all, looking like $1,000,000 is the best way to spite your ex. Diego was unsurprisingly responsive to the idea when posed this way, although it had clearly been a long time since his last, Ow! Jeez, dude, when was the last time you had a thorough brush? Oh, I think Mom insisted for my high school graduation, now that you mention it. 5 years? Yeah, around that. No wonder you're so tangled up. It didn't used to be such a problem. I think as I'm getting older, my fur is getting more wavy. Gotta make this a regular thing. Ugh, no thanks. I hate being brushed. How about you? When was your last proper brushing? It's been a while for me, too. I'm lucky, though. My fur is nice and straight. Doesn't get tangled even when it's all thick in the winter. Oh, that's right. You molt like crazy in the spring. I remember when I moved out of the dorm, one of my cushions had a big tuft of your fur left on it. I left it there for a good while, didn't have the heart to get rid of it. You never cease to amaze me with your talent for being simultaneously adorable and gross. Heh, everyone's the biggest fan of cleaning up. I'd kind of Ow! Sorry. I'd almost finished with only his lower back left to brush. Just in the nick of time, too. Too much longer, we'd both be running late. Lucas is gonna let you off let you off in time for the final, right? He really ought to stop calling you in on tournament mornings. He knows your final is today. I'll be leaving whether he likes it or not. Reckon your little talk will be finished in time? Knowing Kyrx, it probably won't take long at all. He isn't the chatty sort, nor does he like heart-to-hearts. This whole thing is out of character for him. I seem to think it's legitimate. He's a good judge of character, or so he claims. I'm inclined to disagree. If Kyrx were smarter, I think Ty was being played, but, well, he ain't. Regardless, the whole thing is fishy. I don't like it. Alright guys and girls, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!